It began as what many assumed was just another quiet morning in London, the kind of morning where the world expects the royals to go about their duties without causing a stir. But then came the news that would shake the monarchy to its core. Prince Andrew, once a senior member of the British royal family, had been arrested on suspicion of misconduct. The headlines exploded, social media erupted, and suddenly, centuries of tradition and carefully guarded reputation were under intense scrutiny. What made this moment so remarkable wasn't just the arrest itself. It was a context surrounding it, long-standing controversies and allegations, questions about his personal associations, and whether he had prioritized his own relationships over his duty. For years, rumors had swirled, but an arrest brought the scandal into the open in a way that no one could ignore. In response, the royal family moved swiftly. Instead of issuing denials or retreating into silence, the palace adopted a careful strategy to present Andrew as an isolated case, a bad apple whose behavior did not reflect the values of the institution. The message was clear. The monarchy remained strong, stable, and above the actions of one individual. While Andrew faced legal challenges and public humiliation, other senior royals carried on with their duties. Public appearances, official engagements, and carefully crafted statements reinforced the idea that the monarchy could withstand scandal and continue to function. Behind the scenes, however, tensions ran high. Andrew was devastated by the situation, struggling to come to terms with his fall from privilege and the strain it placed on his personal and family relationships. For Prince William, the ordeal was deeply concerning. As heir to the throne, he understood that Andrew's actions could cast a shadow over the future of the monarchy. William and his wife, Kate, were determined to protect the institution while showing that accountability mattered. This was a moment that demanded balance. Personal loyalty had to be weighed against public responsibility. The scandal forced a shift in royal strategy. The old mantra of silence and discretion no longer worked in a world dominated by social media and instant news cycles. Public perception had to be managed carefully, while the legal process was allowed to unfold without interference. The palace emphasized that Andrew's behavior was an anomaly, not a reflection of the monarchy as a whole. Meanwhile, the public debate intensified. Critics questioned the role and relevance of the royal family, while supporters argued that the institution should be judged on a collective work rather than the mistakes of one member. The scrutiny touched every corner of the monarchy, forcing to confront questions of transparency, morality, and accountability. Andrew himself faced a difficult road. Stripped of titles, facing restrictions on his public life, and living with the consequences of public condemnation, he became the embodiment of the bad apple narrative. His fall served as a stark reminder that privilege does not grant immunity from scrutiny or consequence. Throughout this crisis, the royal family carefully balanced public messaging and private management. Official duties continued, charitable work proceeded, and appearances were staged to reinforce stability. The goal was clear: to show the world that the monarchy endures even when one member's actions threaten its image. Ultimately, this scandal represents a turning point for the British royal family. It has exposed the need for modernization, transparency, and careful attention to public perception. How the institution navigates this crisis will determine its credibility, relevance, and longevity. The story of Andrew's fall is more than just a personal scandal. It is a test of the monarchy itself. As cameras focus on palace gates and headlines scroll across screens worldwide, one truth becomes clear: even centuries-old institutions must adapt when confronted with crisis. The monarchy's response, measured, strategic, and focused on stability, may define how it is remembered for generations to come. In the end, Andrew's story serves as a cautionary tale, a lesson in accountability, and a challenge to the royal family to demonstrate that the crown can survive even the most turbulent storms. How this chapter closes will say more about the future of the monarchy than any ceremony, procession, or public statement ever could. One of the most remarkable aspects of this story isn't just that two legendary actors worked together. It's that their collaboration became a bridge of understanding between lived reality and artistic interpretation. Michael's presence on the show wasn't merely a cameo, it was a statement. It was proof that a diagnosis, no matter how challenging, doesn't signal the end of meaning, purpose, or creative expression. Instead, it can become a catalyst, a way to elevate awareness, compassion, and truth in storytelling. And for viewers around the world, this collaboration became more than entertainment. It became a conversation starter about Parkinson's disease, about empathy, about the way Hollywood chooses to portray illness and how those depictions can shape public understanding. People who might have never thought deeply about living with Parkinson's found themselves moved, challenged, and educated by what unfolded on screen. Beyond the emotional weight of their performances, both actors brought their own lived experiences and perspectives into the process. Michael has been an outspoken advocate for Parkinson's research and awareness for decades, founding an organization that has raised enormous support for research and community programs. His presence isn't just artistic, it's purposeful. Meanwhile, Harrison approached the role not as an abstract challenge, but as a responsibility, understanding that how illness is portrayed can influence how society perceives those who live with it. As the season unfolded, audiences saw moments of humor, frustration, tenderness, fear, and resilience, all woven together into a narrative that refused to shy away from the complexity of living with Parkinson's. There were scenes where laughter emerged in the face of adversity, moments where characters leaned on each other for strength, and quiet, reflective beats that captured the fear and uncertainty that come with progressive disease. But woven through all of it was a sense of humanity, an acknowledgement that illness is not just a medical condition but a lived human experience. Ultimately, what Michael J. Fox helped bring to Harrison Ford's portrayal wasn't just technical insight or personal perspective. What he offered was truth. The emotional truth of living with Parkinson's, the daily struggles and small victories that don't often make headlines. Harrison absorbed that truth and translated it into a performance that didn't just entertain, it educated, illuminated, and honored those living with the disease. In the end, their collaboration stands as a testament to what art can achieve when it embraces vulnerability instead of shying away from it. It reminds us that storytelling has the power to change perceptions, to build empathy, and to shine light on realities that many would otherwise overlook. And most importantly, it shows that even when life presents its toughest challenges, there is still room for connection, understanding, and profound artistic expression.